Aiken County, almost into Lexington County. And again, the Weather Service is saying 1 1/4 inch, and that's about what our radar is showing as well. So about an inch size hail associated with this as it kind of continues over to the east, and very, very heavy downpours associated with it as well. We'll put some numbers up on that, and so you can kind of see what's going down just south of West Papillion, all right? So 2.98 inches an hour, so about 3 inches per hour. That's a really heavy downpour just west of Papillion, so very heavy rain, torrential rain coming through. Wanted to widen this out so you can kind of see all the activity that's still in Georgia, and it's still making its way up to the north and east towards us. So know that we've got a tornado warning until 10:45, or actually 11:15 now for this area right here. We have the rotation up now. The rotation was right here. It's not looking quite as impressive, but right here we've got the reds and the greens closest together right there around Wagner, and it's continuing over to the east. But one good thing, I'm not seeing any, you see this bright red that's going away from the radar? I'm not seeing that bright green right next to it, so that's good news right there. Now we've already seen a lot of rain associated with this, and of course our threat, flooding, gusty winds, and also heavy rain. So let's take a look at exactly, I want to look again at the base velocity, and we'll do some zooming in on that. I'm going to go back over to the computer. Has the Weather Service said anything?
No new updates from them.
No new updates. Okay, so we've got this area right here that's got the actual, let me get out of play mode and then zoom in right now with this so we can make sure we can show you exactly what we're thinking about. So, well, Wagner, I'm not seeing, again, that good of rotation right now with the system. Just a very sizable hail core. What do you think?
Yeah, our notch is kind of losing. It's getting very elongated out. So I think what's happening is the storm's kind of encircling itself and kind of eating up that area of rotation and larger updraft that we were seeing a little while ago. As I was mentioning, we're starting getting some stuff to develop farther south that's kind of robbing some of the energy, especially that cell out towards north.
Yeah, the cell near north. Yeah, oh, this one right here.
Yeah, that.
Nieces. Yeah. Okay, yeah, and there's this one that's down to the south and west that also can kind of pull away energy from the system as it continues over to the east. But yeah, this, I could see how this rain-cooled air, as the system makes its way in, it doesn't have as much instability to keep it going. But I would say this little area south of Wagner is what I would be watching out for some very strong winds. So let's put this on and see, just how fast it's moving in this region. Let me put it on storm relative. About 26, so that's not too terribly bad. 26, 8, we've got about 25 right there. Okay, around Sally is where we've got the turning of the winds, and looks like the tornado warning is still in effect for another 10, well, actually about 20 minutes almost. 20 minutes for this warned area. So we'll kind of zoom in right there to show you what we're talking about. Here's our warning for the area. Do we have anything for news, Ty? Any updates? Just raise your hand if you see something, all right? If you guys have something, just raise your hand, all right? All right, so 11:15, tornado warning for Aiken, Lexington, and Orangeburg County, all right? So let's take a look here. You can see from Wagner over towards Nieces, heavier rain there and some frequent lightning. Now, the lightning, a lot of it, my goodness. Let's take a look at that. We've got about 245 right there. So this system continuing east at 30 miles per hour. We're going to put another track on it. Let's do that, and I will erase some of this to clean up the map. And then we'll put the track up and tell you guys where the storm is headed. All right, so Perry, 11:58, or 10:58, excuse me, 11:22 in north. 1136, Wolfton. 1159, St. Matthews. I mean, you guys, St. Matthews, Cameron, you guys aren't in the warning, but North is. North, you guys are in this warning. And at 1122, we're expecting the rotation of this storm to be over your neck of the woods. So know that we are expecting this storm to continue to the east, and we'll put a loop on it right here so you can kind of see. And I'll turn off the lightning so you can also just see the rain. It kind of cleans it up a little bit. But this warning, it kind of goes all the way up to the north there into Lexington County. And as far as the velocity goes, I'm seeing some red and green here and there. Got one a little bit right here, but it's not that impressive. But there is some areas of rotation within this system. And I've got one right here, just east of Wagner, about to cross over into Lexington County. So is there anything from social media that you're seeing there, Eric?
Nothing over there, but again, if you go back to radar, that notch that we were talking about earlier has now completely pretty much evaporated, and it looks like the cell is now just turning into a complete, just a hail core system with it now,
yeah,
where there's no longer that ability to kind of get the rotation going, still getting the high updrafts, as you mentioned, with the storms to 40, 50,000 feet in the air. So that's why we are still seeing that hail core just to the south of Peon with hail up over quarter in size. So that's still a concern that we're going to follow with this. But it does look like it's kind of losing its rotation because the storm is just kind of engulfing in and on of itself and kind of losing that ability to get some of that rotation.
Yeah, it's right around 30,000, so it's not quite as impressive as it once was. Really good news, but still, the hail, that's damaging enough, an inch-size hail associated with it. So we've got this area warned with a tornado warning until 11:15 if you're just joining us. And if you're in this area, we'll zoom in. Pelion, Wagner, North, Gaston. If you're within this area, this polygon, know that you have the risk of having a tornado. It is a possibility. We've got a lot of rotation in this area, but it is weakening, so that's good news. We'll turn this back on. Just doesn't look as impressive as it once did, but it's still producing a lot of rain and some hail as well, a good bit of hail. 1 inch hail, we've already had quarter-size hail reported from Skywarn in Aiken County. So this system means business, and it's still pretty potent as it moves into Lexington County. So let's see here. And if you're in this area, well, let's do the tornado safety once more. So best place to be, center of a home, okay? You want to be away from windows. I've been inside a home that was not hit by a tornado, but the tornado just went by it. All the windows were blown in, and you do not want to get cut by that glass. So we say the hallway is the best spot, bathrooms, best spot, closet, stairs, just away from the windows. You're using the house to protect yourself from what's coming from the tornado. All right, from that glass that's being blown in. But as you can see here, we've still got some hefty rain. As Eric was mentioning, the notch not there any longer, but still we've got a sizable hail core. Let's check in on that. Doesn't look as impressive either. What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, it definitely seems to be losing some intensity, because just in the same thing as that bottom part kind of congeals into the rest of the storm, that ability for that updraft is kind of losing its intensity, so we're even seeing the hail kind of come down.
Yeah, that's good news. That's good news right there. So again, it's just an area south of Pelion, or let's clean this up. Still a lot of lightning associated with it, but you're seeing the lightning that's a little bit older, that's over to the west of Wagner, and we still got some newer strikes. The grayer the strike, the older it is. The bright white, those are more recent, let's say. But as you can see, the warned area, again, including Pelion North, and it no longer includes Wagner. So we've got a new update here. Radar indicated a tornado warning. They're continuing it. At 10:57, a severe thunderstorm producing a tornado was located 12 miles southeast of Gastoner, 16 miles south of Red Bank, still moving east at 30 miles per hour. So that really hasn't changed at all. So they're staying with it. They've shaved off, so Wagner's no longer in it. Perry's in it. Pillion and North still under this warning. So we've got that warning still in effect, but very heavy rain. We'll take a look at Columbia. We're still okay here. Saluta's getting in on some heavier rain. Newberry as well, just southern Newberry County, and all of this kind of marching over to the east. So if you live in St. Matthews, that area, you're about to see some more heavy rain. And if you live in North, just as I mentioned before, seek shelter. You've still got a little bit of time to actually park the car in the garage or the carport in case this hail, even though it is weakening, it's still producing some sizable hail just south of Pillion. Let's zoom in on some streets right here. Sandspur Road, Bub Shumpert Road right there. So this is where the hail core is, right? So Shumpert Mill Road, Cliff Road is next. Likely seeing it because radar, it takes a while for radar to get the data. So likely this storm is a little bit farther down the line than what we're showing you. So that's why I'm kind of going over to the east a little more. Forts Pond Road, Cary Road, and that whole area there. Forts Pond Road, Cheney Road, and Washboard Road. So that's where the most intense part of the storm is, with about 1-inch size hail. So here you go. Here's the system. Let's look at rotation once more, see if we've got anything that, hold on here. I'm hitting the wrong thing. Here we go. Got a little bit right here that I'm still seeing. So there's still some turning of the winds. We've got some bright greens now going towards the radar. And the bright reds, it's pretty decent. Right here, right on the border of Lexington and Aiken County. So that's where we're watching currently. So, all right.
Send me to the wall.
All right. Mr. Eric's going to go over the wall. What would you like to look at, Eric?
If we just send it over to Max 2, I'll kind of jump from then. So if you are just now tuning in, hoping to get your nightly news here at 11 o'clock, we're actually on air because of a possible tornado across southern portions of the Midlands. So this is our tornado warning that we're on air covering right now. It goes until 11:15 and includes the counties of Aiken, Lexington, and Orangeburg for this possible tornado. Again, you can see it's the southern portion of Lexington, the northeastern portion of Aiken County, and then the northwestern portions of Orangeburg County. And this goes until 11:15. We'll flip it now over to the radar and kind of show you the cell that is producing this. It has, for the most part, moved over into Lexington County. The earlier notch that we saw has gone, but a new notch is starting to develop again back towards the Wagner area. So it could be kind of up in this location that we possibly could see a little bit of that rotation trying to develop and maybe trying to form a little bit of a tornado. So let's flip this over to some of those base velocities. This shows you where the winds are heading towards the radar, which is the green, and then away from the radar, which is the red. We want to look for those kind of close together, and you can kind of see that maybe right in this area, pretty much right on the border of Lexington and Aiken County here, pretty much due east of Wagner, getting ready to kind of move into Orangeburg. So it's kind of right in that tri-county location where the three come together, that we're possibly seeing our best area of rotation with this cell, where you see the greens and reds coming together. You see this pretty intense green. That shows winds likely near 50 miles per hour. So we've already seen some intense winds to go along with this system. We'll turn it a little bit higher up, and you can also again see the greens and reds coming together. It's right there, pretty much right on the county borders of Lexington and Aiken, getting ready to move into Orangeburg County. So you can see it's right in that location that we're kind of seeing the possibility for some rotation with this cell, which is why we do have that tornado warning going for about another 10 minutes or so until 11:15 at this hour for those three counties. This system has also been producing numerous reports of hail up to at least a quarter in size. The good news is it looks like that's beginning to weaken a little bit, and actually the hail core is a little bit north of the rotation center. That's kind of just to the south of Pillion, heading towards the east in southern Lexington County. but the good news is that does look to be weakening a little bit, but still easily seeing some hail anywhere from nickel to quarter in size. So if you do live in southern Lexington County, you might want to run out and get that car under some shelter to protect it from this hail that could be heading in your direction. Here's a bigger picture of what's going on across the Midlands, so you can kind of see what we got here at this hour. Here in Columbia, we're just kind of seeing some steady light to moderate showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two. Same thing as you get back towards northern Lexington County and over into Saluda. You're starting to see some pretty decent storms at this hour, but nothing that is severe of nature at this moment. So the good news there. And then just some light rain across other portions. Other ones not seeing it as much. But this is the main cell that we're keeping an eye on down here towards Aiken, southern Lexington, and Orangeburg County. It is moving to the east at 30 miles per hour. So that does put St. Matthews in line. Areas to the north of Orangeburg, you would be in the location if this continues to track off to the east through the rest of this evening. So that's why we want to kind of give you that update now, so you can kind of start making your plans to figure out what you want to do. And even looking at a bigger picture, these storms stretch back over into Georgia and Alabama. So it is going to be a very long night with rounds of showers and thunderstorms pushing in across much of the Midlands. So definitely will want to have a way to get those warnings. The WIS First Alert Weather app is a great way to do that, to stay up to date with these warnings as they maybe get issued through the rest of tonight, because it is going to be a pretty loud night here in the Midlands as these storms just continue to march towards our area here for the next several hours and into the overnight hours. But we'll send it back to Adam. What's the latest that you're kind of seeing with this system that's producing that tornado warning?
Yes, Eric, yeah, we've got it on the estimated hail size on Max 1, just south of Pillion. It's not as impressive as it once was. We were seeing a 1.4 inches. Now it's about 0.8, but still hefty, sizable hail associated with this system. So know that, and we've still got another 10 minutes. I've got no more updates from the National Weather Service, but as you were indicating, we've still got some good rotation with this area. So until 11:15, we've got a warning, and we're going to stay on until the warning is done. And as you can see, it's got a good section of Lexington County, Orangeburg County, north is in on this as well. And what we'll do is kind of zoom in and show you that very fact, so you know exactly what towns are associated with this warned area. So here it is. And Pillion, Gaston, there's north. We've got rotation within this, and as Eric was indicating, some more rotation kind of kicking up right around Wagner in this area, just on the western side of the warned area. But still very heavy downpours, and around Sally, we've got this area right here could see some rotation as well, because it's got nothing blocking it. The energy is able to come right into the storm from here, and a lot of lightning. I want to get a reading on the lightning because I use it to actually see how potent the storm is. And we were in the 200s. Let's see where we are now. We're getting closer to the 300s. So we still have a very potent system that's marching into an area that still has enough energy to support a thunderstorm that's capable of producing a tornado. So here again, the hail core associated with it. And here's a little bit of rotation. Look at this. We've got some green and we've got some red right next to each other. So at any moment, we could see this thing drop a tornado. And it's right in this area of, this is Orangeburg County, this is Aiken County, this is Lexington County, and there's a brand new update right here. You've got the little bit of green next to the red, so they're likely going to continue this warning as it moves over to the east. So this thing is moving east at around 30 miles per hour. So let's put a cone out on it, and I've got it set to 30 miles per hour. Now that we've got this brand new run, we'll kind of stretch it out to the east. So Woodford, 11:18. Staley Crossroads, that's at 11:35. This system's making its way towards there. So you need to have your safety precautions. Head indoors. Make sure you're away from windows. You want to be inside, away from windows, center part of the house. If you've got a basement, great, go in the basement. If not, just center part of the house away from windows if you live in this area right here. So again, the hail has gone down a little bit, but still it's upwards of around an inch. And the warning states around 1.25 inches is possible with this system. So know that too. And then a lot of rain coming with this. So we're going to see some possible flash flooding because the soils here are already pretty saturated from this morning's rain. And just around Pillion, we've got downpours. It looks like to me that's around 3 inches per hour. So let's take a look at that again, and you can kind of see 3 inches per hour. I was right. There's that white color that you see there. That's getting closer to 3. Now, a lot of rain, a lot of frequent lightning, and as Eric was showing you, we've got more to come. We've got more showers and storms on the way. Did we get a new warning there, Eric?
No new warning, but if you want to go to the storm relative velocity here on my Max 2, you can really see that showing up there right along the border.
Yeah, there we go. Wow. Look at that. My goodness. Let's see. We've got it right here. This is Lexington County right here. And, of course, we've got some green right here. And a lot of turning of the winds right at this tri-county region of Aiken, Lexington, and Orangeburg County. It's all kind of moving to the east. So Woodford, you'd be next if there is a tornado on the ground. If you live in Woodford, know that this is on its way. It's knocking on your doorstep. Now is the time to get indoors and away from windows. If you know somebody that lives in Woodford, it's 11:10 at night. You need to give them a call. Tell them, hey, there's a storm on its way. Adam and Eric say get inside and get into the interior part of the house because not everybody's watching TV at 11:10 at night. So it's important just to go ahead and give them that call and make sure that they know what's up because, you know, otherwise they don't. If they don't have the app that's set to wake you up or they don't have a National Weather Service weather radio, they're not going to wake up. So give them a call. But you can kind of see, is this what we're talking about right here, Eric? This little down, the rotation we just saw is like right around here.
Yeah, it's a very southern Lexington, getting ready to push into Orangeburg County location.
Here. And again, it's at around, I think we have to have it in play mode. Can you put a track on that again?
Yeah.
From that, where that rotation
So from like right about here, moving to the east at 30, again.
Yep, there's Woodford, 11:17, 11:34, Staley Crossroads. So very, I mean, this is in the warned area. Staley Crossroads, you're not in there, but you need to be on the lookout because this thing is headed your way and it has a history of having rotation. So know that too. So here's a storm relative velocity and you can kind of see it's a little bit right around this region right here, it looks like, where we've got the reds and the greens trying to get there, but it's just not quite there. But still a warned area. We've got another 3 minutes on this warning. We'll see if the National Weather Service issues a new warning and pushes it over to the east there. So here's the warned area until 11:15, so we've got another 3 minutes on it. For Aiken, Lexington, Orangeburg County includes Swansea, Gaston, Pillion, and it no longer includes Wagner and just north of Neeses. And as this storm continues over to the east, we're likely to see them issue it a little bit farther down because the rotation hasn't been too terribly impressive, but it's impressive enough. Because it doesn't take much for a tornado just to drop out of one of these supercells and cause some damage and cost somebody their life. So that's why we're on the air. That's why we stay on the air until the rotation is all said and done. But until then, we have just copious amounts of rain. As we were indicating earlier, around 3 inches per hour. You can see all that lightning detected as well. We were getting up there at about 300. And here's that hail size right there on Swansea Road. Now seeing the hail. This is right around an inch or so, about 0.8 to about 0.6 it's showing here. So still producing hail as well. And so if you live upstream here, Staley Crossroads, again, time to seek shelter. Probably too late to pull the car in the garage right now, so just take care of yourself. All right, Woodford, the hail is just to your west and is just now probably making its way into town. North, the hail just up to your north, Gaston. You can see Gaston right here, and the hail core will kind of move in this direction to the east. It's moving at around 30 miles per hour. So we've got hail, we've got heavy rain, frequent lightning, and the potential of a tornado. So here we go. Well, they just issued a thunderstorm warning until, is this until about 11:30 or 11:45, Eric? Yep, there it is, 11:45, severe thunderstorm warning. So they're looking at the rotation, and they're saying, we don't think that we're going to see as much rotation. They're going to continue to monitor it for rotation, of course. But the tornado warning is about to expire in about 30 seconds. And we've just got a thunderstorm warning that makes its way over to the east. Now, what are they saying with the winds with this, Eric?
Wind still estimated at 60 and still has the possibility of hail up to a quarter.
A quarter-size hail, winds up to 60 miles per hour. So that's nothing to sneeze at as this makes its way over to the east. And of course, the potential for flash flooding exists as well, because our soils are pretty saturated from this morning's rain in this region. So if you see a roadway that's covered, see there it goes, right at 15. That warning's gone. Now we're dealing with a severe thunderstorm warning, and that includes areas just south of Hopkins. And now we're into Richland County, most of Calhoun County, St. Matthews. You're in on this warning. So know that this cell, let's put on the radar so we can kind of see exactly where it's headed and what it looks like. So the darker shades of red, of course, that's very heavy rain, and upwards of around 2 to 3 inches per hour. And we've got a lot of lightning associated with it. Do you care to put a query on that, just how much lightning we've got there, Eric?
Yeah, let's
see if we can get that up there. But yeah, just a question mark there. That's how you do it.
Or not.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. We can kind of see that it's right around 30,000 feet or so. But anyway, some frequent lightning with this. We were seeing around 200 to 300. It's just the query button, and then you draw a box, basically, and over the area, and you can get those counts for lightning. But there you go. Let's see if this works. There you go, 332. So a lot of lightning in a short amount of time. Now, one thing about lightning, if you hear it, if you can hear thunder, you can be struck by lightning. And you have to wait 15 minutes to the last thunder to be safe to go outside. So that's a safety lesson. If you can hear it, you can be hit. When thunder roars, head indoors. But from South Congaree and Casey, we've got some heavier rain here in Columbia now, and pushing down to the south. This is where the warned area is, from Swansea north all the way to St. Matthews. Cameron almost in there with the warning as well. And what we're going to do is toss to break, and then we'll come back with some news and more weather all coming up in just a bit, so stay tuned to WIS.
The world returns to the State Fairgrounds April 1st and 2nd for the Columbia International Festival. Experience South Carolina's cultural diversity with people